8 months ago, Peter Eastgate shocked the poker world with his sudden retirement. Now the 2008 world champion is back and looking to make his mark here in Berlin.
The reason why I retired from the game was that I was fed up with the game, but now I'm back in the hunt of winning the EPT Berlin.
But Eastgate will have to contend with a talented Day 2 field, including recent Prague champion Roberto Romanello, who has his own goal in mind.
To win another EPT before Vegas, that would be just mind-blowing.
The dreaded bubble awaits for those remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PokerStars.com EPT Berlin. We've hit the ground running for the 11th leg of EPT 7 in a city relatively new to the circuit. We're back in the German capital, Berlin, for only the second time to continue the poker roller coaster that is EPT Season 7. And what a star-studded field we had here, packing out 2 floors of the Spielbank Casino.
Yes. I'm ready for a title defense. Got myself a haircut and ready to go, so feeling really good.
I'm wearing my gloves today because I usually have cold hands when I start, and that's probably from the nerves. The question is whether I can check my cards properly like this, but we'll see, otherwise I'll take them off.
It's like the first time I'm here because I missed last year, and it's one of the biggest EPTs, so I'm really excited and hope I can do good.
A grand total of 773 players anteed up, creating a monster prize pool of over 3.8 million euros, meaning our winner will walk away 825,000 euros richer.
Shuffle up, empty.
Amazingly, 6 of the 10 EPT 7 champions are still in and looking to be the first to repeat. Roberto Romanello won in Prague and is enjoying the hottest streak of his career. Can he pip the others to the post?
Prague, you know, I felt it deserved to win, and that's why I broke down at the end. Definitely going to give it a shot. Try and make the final table first, and then we'll go from there.
French amateur Lucien Cohen is the recently anointed Deauville champ and promises to bring a certain je ne sais quoi. And the German contingent's going strong. They want to win on home turf.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a special thing in your home country. You want like a German guy to win it.
But one man stands in their way. EPT Berlin sees 2008 WSOP champion Peter Eastgate return to poker after an 8-month break. He has the caliber, but can he make his comeback count? Time to get the action started with James Hartigan and William Reynolds.
Welcome to day 2 of the main event at EPT Berlin, a star-studded field in the German capital, including 9 players sat round our feature table, including 2 recent EPT champions.
So where is everybody from on this table?
Live in Germany.
Live in Germany. Born in Russia. I'm from Wales. And you?
Where are the Swedes at the table? That's all we need to know.
Like, yeah, he does.
Well, the man with the rat is Deauville champion Lucien Cohen. And in seat number 9 is Matt Affleck, the victim of the worst bad beat of all time at the 2010 World Series of Poker.
That's right, Matt Affleck's aces lost to the eventual champion Jonathan Duhamel's jacks, all in on the turn.
Well, the blinds are currently 600, 1200 with a 100 ante. 350 players remain from the 773 who started.
Need to watch your cards, yeah?
Okay.
Let's put that rat to use. As Lucien Cohen looks down at 9-7 offsuit, he will fold. Action on Roberto Romanello with ace-jack.
A more than playable hand to get things started.
And from under the gun +2, he will raise it up to 2,600. Sasha Sirtel has passed. Matt Affleck has king-5 offsuit. And he'll fold it.
The chip stacks at this feature table are relatively short. I expect Romanello to use that to his advantage and leverage his big stack.
Marcus Greva is going to call Romanello's raise in position on the button. He has 9-7 suited. And in the big blind, Anton Thoraninson will defend with his Jack-10 offsuit. So we are three-way to the flop. And that flop is ace-5-10.
Excellent flop for Romanello. He shouldn't be too concerned. It's a dry ace-high. He's going to slow play it here and see if anyone wants to take a stab at it.
All three players check. It's the 4 of spades on the turn. Greve picks up a flush draw. Thoraninson has got second pair, but he checks a second time.
At this point, I expect Romanello to throw a little bet in. With the turn flush draw, he's going to want to protect his top pair.
The black chips are 100, the purple chips are 500, the reds are 1,000, and the yellows are 5,000. Roberto's made a delayed continuation bet of 3,600 here.
This is a small bet. It was only 1/3 the pot. This gives Greve excellent odds to call on the button with his 9-high flush draw.
Thoraninson with his pair of 10s.
I don't believe he can call. He could consider a raise, but he's going to think better and let it go.
So heads up to the river. Greve looking for a spade, but it's a diamond. It's the ace of diamonds. Romanello now with trips. And he checks. Is he laying a trap?
This is an excellent check. He's putting his opponent on some type of a missed draw rather than a value hand.
And Greve knows he can only win by betting. He makes it 6,100.
The trap is set. He's gotten an extra 6,100.
Those are raising chips. He check raises to 16,100.
Roberto took his read to the next level, that he had the best hand. Rather than just calling to bluff catch, he's made a small check raise to induce his opponent into coming over the top with another bluff. Excellent play, Roberto.
And what a run he's had these past 6 months.
A while ago I had a deep run in Barcelona. Things seemed to be going really well.
Not in Paris now, but in Barcelona.
And I ended up coming like about 39th, I think. The next stop was Prague, and I thought, okay, let's start again. I knew it was going to be a long grind. There's a huge field there, like 600 players. Lucky enough, I ended up powering my way through the field and beating a massive field there. I put so much effort into it, and I felt I deserved to win, and that's why I broke down at the end. It's been a little bit crazy since then, you know. Just a few days ago, I've gone on to win the WPT in Bratislava, so hopefully it keeps going. Berlin's buzzing here, this tournament, you know. I'm still in and I have a chance. And there would be nothing better to come straight off the back of winning EPT, WPT, and win another EPT before Vegas. That would be just mind-blowing, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
Well, if Roberto were to win a bracelet in Las Vegas this summer, he would become the 3rd Triple Crown winner. Well, let's head out to our outer tables. As expected, we have a massive German contingent in this tournament. Some of the players who've made it to day 2 include Sebastian Ruthenberg, winner of Barcelona in Season 5. Tobias Reinkemeyer, who won the high roller event in Monte Carlo last season. And Sandra Neuox, who won Dortmund in EPT 5. She's in a hand right now against Ilan Buyanar, and he is 3-bet enough pre-flop to put Sandra all in. Buyanar with the 8s, Sandra with ace-king. And she is going to gamble. She's going to flip for her tournament life. And she sees that she's up against a medium pocket pair, and that it's almost 50-50.
Well, she has the best pre-flop drawing hand in poker.
She picks up a gut shot on the flop. No help on the turn, an ace, king or 4 needed on the river, but it's a queen. Sandra Neuox is eliminated. And so we lose one of the few ladies in the field. One who is still alive, however, is Fatima de Melo, coming off her first cash at EPT Snowfest last month. And a player in the field who's doing very well is Peter Eastgate. Yes, he's back. And he's betting 10,000 on the river into 3 opponents.
No one wanted to win this pot. Eastgate's going to try with 10K.
Sam Chartier has folded. Marco Neumann's given it up. And Alex Samadzig will fold as well. So the 2008 World Series of Poker main event champion wins a pot with more than 34,000 in it.
Go Pete!
Of course, Eastgate had a 2nd place finish on the EPT in Season 6. We have 2 EPT champions on our feature table. One of them's the chip leader, Roberto Romanello. The other, Lucien Cohen, is the short stack right now.
Two champions with the opportunity to battle for table supremacy.
Never know.
Marcus Grever's going to raise under the gun +1 to 3,100. Been folded to Valdemar Velman. Will give up the queen 3. So here is the short stack, Lucien Cohen. He's got queens.
And not much of a decision here. He has under 15 big blinds. I expect him to repop it all in.
Well, it's a virtual all-in. He sticks in more than half his stack.
Cohen making things difficult. A strange move from a strange guy.
Seattle's given up the small blind. Matt Affleck with 7-9 in the big blind. Will also muck. So back on Grever,
who doesn't have much of a decision. He can't call and he can't put his opponent all in. No matter how much he wants to.
Look the man.
OMG.
No to pay. All in Uno.
And Cohen is going to gnaw his way to more cheese.
It's a agree, huh?
Grever has folded.
Attention.
And Cohen increases his stack by 25%. The lesson? Never underestimate the power of a plastic rat with an invisible machine gun.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT Berlin. This is the 11th leg of Season 7, which means 10 players have already been crowned champion here on the tour. Many are new millionaires, but it's the silverware and the coveted title that really count.
Well, one of those champions is looking a bit snotty today. Constant travel is not good for your health. He does, however, have the chip lead at our feature table, a stack of nearly 173,000. Lucien Cohen, our friend with the rat, is still the short stack. Blind still 600, 1,200. And under the gun, Simon Cook has ace-king. And he will raise with it. Makes it 2,600.
Small raise from early position.
Cohen has queens again. And again with the sigh.
Cohen is starting this hand with just 18 big blinds. By moving all in, he can gain 25% of his stack. But he's going to take the other option and just call. I'm not a big fan of flatting here. I think it's an all-in opportunity.
Sasha Seattle has pocket fours. He'll let them go. Matt Affleck will look down at queen 6 of hearts. He's not going to play. Alexander Herring folds the small blind. Marcus Grever has a suited 7-10 in the big blind. Looks like he's going to call as well with 3-way to the flop. And that flop is king 4-5 with 2 clubs. The flush draw for Grever, but Cook takes the lead with a pair of kings.
Now that Grever has checked, this is a good opportunity for Cook to bet to protect his top pair on this draw-heavy board.
He will lead out. He'll make it 3,500. An overcard to Cohen's queens, but he's going to call.
He wants to see a turn card, but Grever's also going to call now. Cohen should be extremely wary of his queens.
An 8 on the turn, so Grever picks up a gut shot to go with his flush draw. He checks a second time.
Back to the pre-flop opener, who should again bet to protect his top pair. With 20,000 in there, any bet around half pot or bigger would be good.
9,500. It's roughly half the pot. And Cohen really has a decision here.
Cohen can't feel too good about that king on board, but there's almost 30,000 chips in the pot, and he only has 14,000 chips left. There's a lot of money to be won, but he could be drawing slim as he is.
He decides to lay it down.
Cohen should be feeling pretty good about his pre-flop decision to not go all in. Now back to Grever, who's getting 3-1 on his money to make this call with his straight draw and a flush draw.
Well, he decides to semi-bluff the turn. He's raised it.
This is an excellent turn check raise. If Grever were to just call, his hand would be face up as a draw or a one-pair hand. But by raising, he's representing a made hand.
Cook will call in position, and they will go to the river. And the river is a queen. Look at Cohen's reaction.
Two queens.
Cohen would have rivered that one outer, however, he's way out of line by talking about his hand while other players are still in this pot.
Plus, he shouldn't be results-oriented. Greve decides to bluff the river, having semi-bluffed the turn, 32,100. Cook doesn't look too comfortable.
And this is a fabulous spot to bluff. He could represent that 6-7 that got into the pot with good odds out of the big blind.
For most of Cook's chips, and he lays it down. Greve wins the pot with the worst hand.
That was an excellent turn semi-bluff, and he followed through with it on the river and bluffed his way to the win.
Yeah, you would have made a set. Well, Lucien Cohen may be the table short stack right now, but it was just a few months ago that he was an EPT winner. It happened on the French leg of the tour in Deauville. He's not a poker pro, he works in pest control, which would explain the rat. I say explains, it doesn't mean it excuses it. How do you feel about plastic animals at the poker table, William?
Unacceptable.
Blinds are up, 800, 1600 with a 200 ante. Action has been folded around to Anton Thorarinsson. And from mid-position, he's raising with a suited King-8.
Everyone's been playing fairly straightforward at this feature table today. I don't mind opening this King-8 up.
Velman or Muck. And Cohen shoving. He's got kings.
This is the absolute worst case scenario for Anton and the absolute best case scenario for Cohen. Anton is most likely going to be priced into making this call. Cohen shoved for less than 10 big blinds.
Well, both blinds have mucked.
How much is it?
Not much.
It's only 12,000 more to call with 23-3 out there.
And of course, Cohen could be pushing super light here. Thorarinsson has no idea just how strong he is.
It's just hoping his cards are live. However, as we can see, he's drawing slim.
Well, he's made the call, and there is an 89% chance that Lucien Cohen gets the double up here. Kings against King-8.
He's gonna be rooting for those clubs.
No clubs on the flop, but he has hit an 8.
Searching for the 2-outer.
So Lucien Cohen just has to fade an 8 on the river to get the double up.
1 8 more. Ah.
But it's a 4.
Maman chérie, maman chérie, Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix. Phoenix. Phoenix, man. Oh. Oh. Le Phoenix y revient, messieurs. Attention.
Lucien Cohen comparing himself to a phoenix rising from the flames. Honestly. Let's head back to the field, where Peter Eastgate is in action, involved in a hand against Daniel Pidden and Ruslan Friedrich. They've all checked the flop of ace, 8, ace. It's the 10 of spades on the turn. They check again. 4 of hearts on the river. Pidden has checked. Friedrich checks. Eastgate. Looks like he's considering a bet. There's 12,300 in the middle. He makes it 7,400 and gets 2 folds. So the 25-year-old Dane takes it down uncontested on the river. Now, don't call it a comeback, but Peter Eastgate has returned to the poker world.
I am famous for winning the World Series main event in 2008. I've also come in second in the EPT of London in 2009. After the EPT of Monte Carlo 2010, I took a break from the game for like 8 months. I went to the Himalayas in Nepal. It's pretty nice to be disconnected from the internet and the outside world, and you're getting a physical challenge. But I wanted to rejoin the game because I kind of like the psychological challenge where you're trying to get into your opponent's head and try to figure out what he's thinking. Well, as I won the World Series main event in 2008, I was given a bracelet, but the bracelet was collecting dust in a drawer. And I didn't want to keep the bracelet anymore, so I decided to sell the bracelet and giving all the money to charity. I gave the money to UNICEF, $150,000. What other people are thinking about that decision, like, doesn't really bother me that much. I did it in good faith, and that's pretty much all that matters.
Peter Eastgate raises $150,000 for UNICEF and gets abuse for it on poker forums. Haters gonna hate. Let's head to another outer table where Sebastian Ruthenberg is in action. He's hit the second nut flush on the river. He's bet 15,000. Jens Weigel just has ace high, but is raising.
Well, he has the nut flush club blocker, so he's going to represent it and put in a raise. However, it's not big enough to get Ruthenberg off the second nuts.
Ruthenberg makes the call. Weigel will show he was bluffing, and Ruthenberg's flush is good. So he'll win that pot of nearly 93,000. Become a serious contender to become the first ever two-time EPT champion. Ruthenberg's stack now up to 246,000, making him one of the chip leaders right now. With 261 players remaining, the average stack is just over 91,500. Ruthenberg is currently third in chips behind the Frenchman Thomas Bichon and the German chip leader Nima Arari. So let's head back to our feature table, which is situated alongside the trophy they're all playing for. Simon Cook is first to speak here. King 10 offsuit under the gun. He'll fold.
Discipline.
The Rarenson and Velman have also folded. Lucien Cohen has 9-10 offsuit. He starts the hand with a 22 big blind stack. And it looks like he's going to raise.
Cohen's going to open it up. We've only seen him play large pocket pairs. He's hoping to play off of that image.
Romanello has got out of the way. Sasha Sirtel has pocket fours.
And Sirtel smells a rat. He's going to look Cohen up with the pair.
He makes the call in position. Matt Affleck on the button. Ace 7 off. Nah. Alexander Herring has folded the small blind. Marcus Grever seemingly with the decision with ace 9 in the big blind.
He's getting a good price on his money, but he doesn't want to get involved with one of those middle aces.
Heads up to the flop, which is deuce 4-7. A set of fours for Sirtel. Absolutely nothing for Lucien Cohen. He has just 8% equity, and he is checked to Sirtel.
Cohen looks like he's over this hand.
Sirtel's going to make a bet.
Call.
Cohen insta-calls with 10 high.
Well, he's interested in something I don't see.
Snap call. That's a real snap call.
Sirtel may be fearing the flush draw, which did just get there on the turn. Cohen has just picked up the flush draw, plus a gut shot. He checks a second time, Sirtel bets a second time, and Cohen shoves. Sirtel makes the reluctant call. Don't worry, he doesn't have 2 diamonds.
Oh merde, je peux vivre sur la lumière, je ferai couleur.
But he thought he did!
Je ferai couleur, je ferai flush,
But
no
I had to
flush.
call anyway because I got a
No
set,
flush. No flush. Because I am the flush.
yeah. Is it an excuse or do you want to push me on? Because I commit
No,
myself.
mais no, it's no
so-
problem, no problem.
Yeah. Come on, a black one.
Cohen needs a diamond or an 8, but it's a black 10.
A costly hand misread by the Frenchman.
It's good.
The exterminator has been exterminated.
Because, look, fort, je me suis trompé, je croyais carreau.
Yeah, we get it. You made a mistake.
Allez, face. J'ai vu 2 carreaux, quel con alors. Mais quel con je suis, j'ai 2 carreaux dans la main.
I still think it was a little excuse because he got a flush drawn. He might thought he can kick me out because he might thought like I got AK or ace queen. Or
Okay,
something.
thank you very much. Bye.
So we bid adieu to the champion of Deauville. Oh, he's taking his plastic wrap with him. What a shame.
Quelle erreur je fais. Qu'est-ce que je suis aveugle.
260 players remain. 120 will get paid.
Starting to feel a little bit better now.
I wonder if that's because of the addition of aspirin or the removal of the rat.
Night has fallen at the PokerStars.com EPT from Berlin. After the exit of reigning Deauville champ and rat-wielding crazy man Lucien Cohen, the feature table quietened down. Roberto Romanello had a slow but steady start and is hoping his cold doesn't scupper his chances of making the money. Those 8 are now comfortably back in the field, so we've got a brand new feature table with a distinctly German flavour.
It's going to be fun for them, because they like to be in the spotlight. They both have, Sebastian has a huge stack, and George has a little bit more than average, so this should be a fun table to watch.
So 5 German players at our new feature table, including an EPT champion, Sebastian Ruthenberg, and his good friend, George Danza, who, with blinds at 1200 and 2400 and a 200 ante, is under the gun and will look down at 8-9 offsuit and will fold.
As we are approaching the bubble, I don't think it will take long for some of these big stacks to collide.
Action's been folded around to Per Linde, who was second in Copenhagen this season. He's going to raise from the cutoff, makes it 5,500 with his ace-7 offsuit. Martin Ginnath is in the small blind and will pass. Ruthenberg has 3s in the big blind.
The best option with a pocket pair is generally to just call and take a flop.
He will call, and we will go heads up to the flop. Almost a flip, a pocket pair against 2 overcards. And Per Linde has paired one of those overcards, but Ruthenberg has made a set of 3s.
Treacherous flop for Linde. He has top pair, top kicker. He's going to bet 8,000 into 14. This would be an excellent spot for Ruthenberg to check raise. It's a draw-heavy board with a flush draw and multiple straight draws.
While Ruthenberg will just call the 8,000.
His hand is well disguised now, as most people would have check raised that.
It's another 6 on the turn. Ruthenberg turns a full house. Linde drawing pretty thin now. Ruthenberg elected to check call the flop. What will he do now?
Well, I imagine he does not want this turn to go check, check, so he's going to lead at this turn.
16,200.
Just over half of the pot. Now, Pierre Linde is going to have a hard time getting away from this. He surely can't fold. He's going to see one more street.
He has called, and he's going to need to see a 7. Instead, it's an ace, so his hand does improve. And if Ruthenberg bets again, William, I reckon Linde will probably pay him off.
There are many action-killing rivers. This is not one of them.
Ruthenberg makes it 33,000.
It's not a greedy bet, just half the pot again.
How much? I call.
I love that. How much? Don't wait for an answer. I call. And sees that Ruthenberg has a full house and has him beat.
That was one river he could not find the fold button on.
So a great start for Sebastian Ruthenberg on our new feature table. I mentioned he's an EPT champion. He took down Barcelona in Season 5 for more than 1.3 million euros. His biggest cash of 7 on the European Poker Tour. Plus, he has a World Series bracelet in 7-card stud high-low. He's one of several players in the field looking to win their 2nd EPT title. Among the other potential 2-time champions is Roberto Romanello, who was sitting at our featured table earlier on, still suffering from the sniffles and sneezes. But it's his tablemate Matt Affleck who's really feeling the pain right now. All in with ace-deuce, dominated by Alexander Herring's ace-queen. Affleck will need a lot of help. There's just a 23% chance that he will double up and survive.
Oh, I thought that was a queen on the flop. I thought that was the flop there and I saw a queen.
The dealer's pulled the cards into the middle of the table, and that's confused Matt. Well, here comes the flop.
Vamos!
Well, there's no queen. Instead, Affleck picks up a straight draw.
And chop pot equity.
An ace on the turn. So a 3 for the win, a 4, an ace, or a king for a chop. But it's a 6. So Matt Affleck is eliminated. His chips sliding across the table to Alexander Herring. Well, there's another EPT7 winner, Barcelona champion Kent Lundmark. And several of the players who shared a final table with Kent are going deep in this tournament here in Berlin. In fact, sharing a table once again are Giuseppe Pantaleo and Konstantin Puchkov. Well, let's head across the room because Fatima de Melo is all in.
I have ace queen.
She wants everyone to know that she has ace queen. And she needs to improve against Nicholas Eunice's tens. Well, she's hit an ace on the flop. She now just has to fade tens. And in fact, she hits a diamond flush on the river. And she will double up and stay alive, looking for her second consecutive cash on the European Poker Tour. We're getting ever closer to the money bubble here in Berlin. Fatima sitting comfortably on a stack of 131,000. Well, let's return to our feature table. Blind still 1,200, 2,400 with a 200 ante. Michel Detani is going to be first to speak here. He's under the gun. Ace deuce off. He'll fold it. Felix Schulze and Per Linde both fold. Christian Canese mucks the 6-8 of diamonds. Martin Gneth will fold. We have a new player at our table. Poker pro and TV commentator Juan Manuel Pastor. Not interested. So Sebastian Ruthenberg on the button has king 4 off and he's raising to 5,000.
No one wanted to raise their suited connectors. Ruthenberg's going to take control of position.
George Danza folds the small blind. Now this is Darren Kramer from South Africa. Insert random line from Lethal Weapon 2 here.
5 total.
And he is going to defend his big blind.
A super standard defense as they are both well over 100 big blinds deep.
So it's almost 50-50 heading to the flop. And that's a great flop for Darren Kramer. 8-6 deuce with 2 clubs. He has a straight flush draw.
He's going to fast play that straight flush draw.
He leads out. 7,200. Ruthenberg just has king high.
Ruthenberg seems reluctant to release his king high.
What?
He's raising. 18,200.
Well, he's putting his opponent on an air ball, but he does have a straight flush draw. This would be a good spot for Kramer to call. By raising, he's just inflating the pot a little bit too much with 10 high.
All right.
He's going to raise.
Inflating's the name of the game. He has 3-bet the flop to 48,700.
An additional 30k for Ruthenberg to call. And he just has king high.
Just a low set. But I give you credit.
For low set.
Low set.
Oh, I was happy to get 300,000 on this, I'll tell you that. With the absolute greatest of pleasure.
Ruthenberg folds and Kramer wins it.
No.
If he's happy to get in double the average stack with just a 10 high draw in a single raise pot, I'd be happy to have him at my table.
Well, Kramer and Ruthenberg are the 2 big stacks at this feature table. The South African sitting on nearly 400,000 in chips, the German close to 350,000. And we're actually going to play this next hand from Sebastian Ruthenberg's perspective. Yes, it's time to sweat with Sebastian.
Ooh, my favorite, the sweat hands.
So far, no one wants to play. It's been folded to our hero. He has ace-10 offsuit.
Okay, he has an ace. Let's raise.
From the hijack seat, he makes it 5,000. George Danza, Darren Kramer, and Michel Detani have all folded. Felix Schulze is in the big blind, and of course we won't get to see his hole cards till the very end of the hand.
Well, being that he's in the big blind, he can have the widest range at the entire table to see a flop.
Okay, I'm not going to put you on the spot then and ask you to tell us what he's got. He is going to call and we will see a flop. Ace 9-6, top pair for Ruthenberg.
Well, generally, hands played out of the big blind miss this flop. Ruthenberg has 2 options, bet or check. I don't mind either right here.
Looks like he feels that a continuation bet would be in order. He'll make it 5,800.
That's a good bet if he were to bet.
And Schulze, with his $1 sunglasses, is going to raise it up to 13,500.
I've never been a fan of check raising dry ace-high flops. There are very few value hands to represent. I believe Felix is up to no good with those $1 sunglasses and that scarf to match.
Ruthenberg will make the call in position, and we will go to the turn. And there's now 40,000 in the middle. A 9 on the turn pairs the board. And having check-raised the flop, Schulze leads out on the turn.
Well, that 9 on the turn may scare Ruthenberg. However, this less than half the pot size bet is not going to phase him at all.
He will call. The river is the Jack of Spades.
I think the most important thing about this river is all of the potential straight draws have bricked.
32.5.
He bet the turn and he bets the river, roughly half the pot, 32,500.
If he did have a 9, I think he would go a little bit larger than this because Ruthenberg clearly has an ace at this point.
Still putting him on an air ball?
Air ball.
Ruthenberg removes his considerably more expensive than $1 sunglasses.
Ruthenberg debating the curiosity call.
He makes the call.
Shows.
And it's a good call.
Schulze shows 7-3 of spades. You called it, William. Airball-tastic.
It just didn't make sense. When running a bluff, it takes more than a min check raise on the flop in less than half pot 2 times.
Sebastian Ruthenberg now takes a commanding chip lead at this feature table.
So the bubble looms here in Berlin, but it's the €825,000 top prize and the trophy that they're really chasing. Do you want to play in an EPT event? Well, if you're already a PokerStars.com player, you're all set. But if not, grab your laptop and download the software for free at PokerStars.com and you could win a seat to the next EPT event from the comfort of your own home. Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT Berlin. We're inching ever closer to the money and the knockouts are coming thick and fast.
That's playing with you.
But for some, the luck seems to be coming at just the right time.
That's a bad beat.
Smile Boulevard, you just sucked out. We're just 9 away from the bubble.
One player looking like he'll cash tonight is Peter Eastgate, sitting on plenty of chips. Roberto Romanello looks terrible. Lucky he's got quite a healthy chip stack in front of him, as does the Frenchman Fabrice Soulier. In fact, he is the current tournament chip leader, so he's brimming with confidence. Meanwhile, there's an all-in. Martin Jakobsen has called with ace-queen. Vadim Markashevsky is the player at risk with pocket fives. It's still a flip on the flop. And a queen on the turn means Markashevsky's drawing to 2 outs. He needs a 5 on the river. He doesn't hit. He's eliminated. And Jakobsen wins the pot. The Swede has finished second in 2 EPTs this season. Well, there's another all-in at our feature table. Michel Detani has shoved with ace-king. Decision is on Darren Kramer, who's got 3s.
I suppose off to the races, huh? I call. You got 2 others.
It's another flip.
Flipping on the bubble, so exciting.
Detani needs to improve to survive.
You know there's only one you ever beat is me, huh?
Ace-king never beats you, right?
How much?
Kramer seems to have a reputation as an invincible player.
Oh. Not cheesy anymore.
Well, that's probably why. He's hit a set of 3s on the flop, but Detani has picked up a gut shot. He needs one of 4 queens in the deck.
He needs a queen on the river for Broadway or the show is over.
A 9% chance of survival. A 9 on the river sends him to the rail.
Curtains closed.
Kramer up to nearly 448,000. One of the big stacks at our feature table. In fact, he's now in the top 10 overall. We need to lose another 7 players before we are in the money. And more outer-table action. Alessandro Laubinger all in with 9s against Yves-Manuel Boschetti's aces, but Laubinger has spiked a 9 on the flop. And he gets quads on the river.
Yes!
Understandably happy. He goes from being on the brink of elimination to being one of the chip leaders. A few tables over, we've got another all-in, another player with aces. And they get cracked again. A 10 on the river sees Ben Wilanowski send Lothar Meyer to the rail.
You guys want a comment or something? Like, I want a pot.
Well done, you. Well, Martin Jakobsen has another player all in. It's Robert Wagner, not to be confused with the American actor Robert Wagner. Wagner looking for an ace or club on the river to survive. He doesn't get it. And another one bites the dust.
Ever closer to the money.
We return now to our feature table. The blinds are up to 1,500, 3,000 with a 300 ante. Juan Manuel Pastor is under the gun. Jack 4 offsuit, he's not going to play. Sebastian Ruthenberg. Looks like he's raising it up here with 3-4 of clubs, 6,300.
Ruthenberg's going to exercise his big stack and put the table to work.
George Danza gets out of the way. Darren Kramer has 5-10 suited and mucks. New player at the table, Karl-Heinz Klose. He'll fold. Felix Schulze has ace-queen.
Now this is a difficult spot. He knows Ruthenberg could be opening an extremely wide range. He doesn't want to just call, given he has under 30 big blinds. So he is going to 3-bet.
Yeah, 17,100 he makes it. Per Linde has queen 3 on the button. And he will pass, as will Christian Knese and Martin Ganath. So back to Ruthenberg. And we've just lost a player in the field, which means we're down to 121. We're on the bubble now. The next player out goes home with nothing, the other 120 cash. And Ruthenberg is applying the pressure of the bubble right now.
The shove by Ruthenberg may be a tad ambitious, as it's highly unlikely Felix has a 3-bet bluffing range with 30 big blinds against the table chip leader. However, Ruthenberg does have his massive stack and the bubble working for him.
What's the average stack?
About 3 times what you have.
Well, his below average stack may be reason enough to go big or go home.
It's one thing to push with ace-queen, it's another to call off all your chips with ace-queen.
Fold the cash or gamble for the win? What do you think, James?
I say gamble. But that's why I don't cash in poker tournaments.
Call, whatever.
Schulze has decided to go for it. And he sees that he's way in front. Although Ruthenberg does have 2 live cards.
Suited, connected, all the possibilities.
Schulze can't believe that Ruthenberg put him all in with 3-4. Well, the flop is Queen Jack 9. Schulze pairs his queen. Ruthenberg needs runner.
Drawn to the back door.
Just a 5% chance that the bubble bursts in this hand. Well, that seals the deal for Schulze. He will get the double up. An inconsequential king of hearts on the river.
The over-aggressive bubble all-in jam by Ruthenberg did not work, but he did have chips to spare.
He's still playing a stack of 345,000, and we still need to lose a player before we hit the money.
Thank you. We're down to 121 players. You all know we do play for the bubble right now.
121.
Tournament director Thomas Kremser confirming that we are now hand for hand, meaning you don't start the next deal until every table in the field has concluded the previous one. Blinds are up to 2,000, 4,000 with a 400 ante. Juan Manuel Pastor folds under the gun. Sebastian Ruthenberg also passes. Dan's is not going to play. Nor will Darren Kramer.
This is a lot of folds for the bubble.
Karl-Heinz Klose shoves his last 74,000 in with 9-7 off suit.
I must say, this is a bit shocking.
Especially when your opponents wake up with big hands. Christian Knese with aces will reshove.
It's better to make these all-in plays on the bubble when you cover the stacks behind, rather than everyone left to act covering your stack.
Martin Ganath gets out the way with his ace-10. And Klose will see he's up against the bullets.
And he's going to turn over the 9-7 offsuit sheepishly.
Well, there's an 83% chance that Karl-Heinz Klose will be our bubble boy.
Bye-bye. 2. All right, tournament dealers, in the main event, please finish the hand you're on. We have 3 tables with an all-in and a call. With 3 different amounts of the all-ins. I'm going to go according to the amount of the all-ins. The highest amount of chips I'm gonna see first, which is the TV table.
So you heard Thomas Kremser. We have 3 all-ins right now. You said it, buddy. The player at risk with the most chips is Klose. We'll play this hand out first. Well, there's a 9 on the flop. That gives him a bit of hope.
He's up to 23%.
Eine 7, eine 9.
A 9 or a 7. That's what he needs to see. The turn is a 4. Same outs needed on the river. He's down to 12%. He has 5 outs in the deck. The entire room is calling for a blank. And it is a blank. Klose is eliminated.
Definitely hit the bubble, but he can still make the money.
Klose can still cash if another player goes out. So let's hit the floor and see what happens. Andrei Lobjanic is all in with ace-jack of clubs. He's been called by EPT Snowfest champion Vladimir Geschkenbein, who has queens. So Lobjanic looking for an ace. Well, I reckon he'll take that flop. He's picked up a straight draw. Not sure why Geschkenbein's so happy about it. Fewer outs. Now there's a heart on the turn. The river. We'll see the elimination of Andrei Lobjanic, but he might still make the money if the all-in player at the 3rd table is KO'd. Isn't this exciting?
Who will be the official EPT Berlin bubble boy?
Well, it could be Maxim Paniak, who's at risk here with ace-queen of diamonds. Andreas Doletsky has the same hand suited in spades. It's a 95% chance that this is going to be a split. But there's a spade on the turn.
Doletsky's picked up the free roll.
The river is a heart, so that is a chop. So 2 players were eliminated on the final hand of the day. We're down to 119, we're in the money, and this is the most relieved man in the room right now. He's min-cashed for 7,500 euros. Maybe true, but at least you're not going home empty-handed, like this chap, our official bubble boy, the Russian in the Larry tracksuit.
Those sleeves look like my grandmother's bedspread.
So heading into day 3, Fabrice Soulier will have the chip lead. He's got more than $1 million right now. Giuseppe Pantaleo, a final tableist from Barcelona, is in the top 5, as is Martin Jakobsen.
With the money bubble burst, it's time to fight for a place in the final 24 and a chance to be crowned the next EPT champion. Chip leader Fabrice Soulier is eager to keep the pressure on the chasing pack.
I'm not afraid to put my chips in the middle, like with no pair and nothing sometimes.
But standing in his way is the super aggro Giuseppe Pantaleo, determined to go all the way after falling short in Barcelona.
It would be so great to win your home country EPT, and I'm very hungry to try to win it.
And poker sensation Peter Eastgate's shock comeback continues.